Hi, I'm here to provide another tip to lower the stress for teachers who are providing education for the first time for students who are learning from a distance. I know that a lot of teachers are struggling with the things that they can't do today that they would have done before and are faced with all of the things that are out of their control. And my tip for you today is to not focus on the things you cannot do that are out of your control, but the things that are within your control. What are the things that you can do to bring value to your students? You have control in ways you probably haven't even thought of yet if you really sit back and think about it. When I was a teenager, I was in a geometry class. We were studying angles, and the teacher made kind of an offhand comment about the angle of light bouncing off a mirror would have the same angle as it came in as when it left. The incidence and the reflected angles were the same. And that's why you can move a mirror, say your rearview mirror of your car, to see some other aspect of what's behind you. And that got me thinking, so I went home that night, gathered up all kinds of mirrors in my house that I could find, compact mirrors, makeup mirrors, anything I could find, and I set them up throughout the house to try to take a lamp that was in one end of the house and reflect that image so that I could see it in a mirror that I looked in all the way at the other side of the house and around corners. Now, all I was doing was expressing my own level of curiosity. You have the power to influence students, to get them to believe that their curiosity can be satisfied, that they have the power to figure things out. So the first thing I would ask you is, what can you do to take these students who are now working at home and to inspire them or encourage them to go deeper and to explore things in their own way, to be self-directed learners? How can you get them to not wait for you to give them something to act on, but to take the initiative, to self-provoke in this way? There are plenty of things you might think about. You could consider, how are you going to provide encouragement to students? What are all the ways you could do it, given the technology that is what you have to work with and the technology that's out there and available? What resources could you direct students to online that might be of help to them? What can you do in terms of question asking, posing challenges to them, daring them to be able to come up with a solution for some difficult problem that's within your area of curriculum? It's in the area of what you're trying to teach them, but you're going to ask them to dig a little deeper and come up with some things on their own. What else is in your control? The ways in which students interact with you, perhaps the ways in which they interact with each other. During this time of social distancing, what are all of the ways that you can come up with to change up and vary the ways in which students are having that experience online? What else is within your control? Certainly assessment to a large degree is within your control. What are the different ways in which you can assess students when they're working from a distance? Think about time. Your use of time is probably a little different now than it was before, and you can expect that to be true of students. Students who were once in a class for a certain period of time and working on something for that period of time no longer have that limitation. They can let something go for a while and then they can come back to it later. They could delve into something and stay with it for a longer period of time. Unless you're trying to do your online teaching hour for hour in the way that it was done in school, there's a lot of opportunity for students to readjust how they use their time and also where they do their learning. Some students are much more engaged if they can do their learning near a window or on their bed. Some of them are more engaged when they're at the kitchen table and there are people moving around, there's interactions. Your students have an ability to change up what they're doing, and you're in control as long as you set the parameters. And the parameters should be, what are your learning goals? And let's not get too wrapped up in how the student achieves those goals, what actions they take. Let's focus on what it is they're supposed to learn and let them have some freedom in how they get there. This is Bret Loucks with Compassionate Education. I encourage you to comment down below on some of the ideas you might have that would help others, and you can also like and subscribe. All of those things are possible, as you know, and I'll be coming back with some more. Thank you.